Hello again and welcome back to Better Building in Minecraft episode 3. So this one I'm going to talk about inspiration as far as like how to get it, where to get it, that kind of stuff. So a lot of people are always kind of wondering like how do I build a house, and the best way to do it I think is just to look at what you see out in the real world. So I'd like to give you some examples as far as that, and then also Google Images is like probably the best place to get inspiration for medieval builds. And then there's other websites like Turbo Squid where you can find 3D models of things, um, stuff like that. There's all kinds of places you can get it, but those are just a few that I can think of right now off the top of my head. But anyway, I'd like to show you some examples of some images that I saw from Google Images, and then show you what I've built and kind of talk a little bit about those and like how I came up with what I came up with. So this is an image I found on Google, and James Bua Minecraft was making his version of it, and his scale was a little different than mine. I think his was a lot smaller, and I just really liked the look of it, and I was like, wow, that's something I want to build. So I started building on all of it, and let me show you what that looks like. So this is it. You can kind of see where I tried to mimic everything as closely as possible. And then once I got the thing more or less done, then I came through and just sort of added a couple extra little pieces here and there and kind of just cleaned it up to make it make sense, So there's like trees over here just because I had this flat spot and I was like, it just looks boring without them, so we added some in. I had Archidicus help me with this area here because I was concentrating so much on the castle. He built 90% of these buildings here. I just wanted to kind of show you the castle. Now the nice thing about the scale that I chose, it looks good because you can get the 3D elements better. However, if you come down here, those two like archways with big doors in them, they kind of made it look like those door handles would be for like normal height, but as I get close you can see like my face is with them. So they're probably, scale-wise, this is probably a lot bigger than it should be, but it did have stairs. I was counting the number of stairs and seemed to match that up. So I don't know, it might be about right. And to me it doesn't look, extra large or anything like that, but I think it worked out pretty good. But I have a whole series on this castle if you want to go check that out so you can see more of what the castle looks like. So let's go to the next one. So this was just a little house I Googled. They just wanted to build various houses for the rich district of a city I call Rowan. So this is the house that I actually built, and this is what it turns into when you put it in Minecraft. So you can kind of see, I got the stairwell thing. I've got put these arches down here because they didn't really have any of that in the graphic here. It's just kind of solid. You can see down there at the bottom. And so I went ahead and put those in because it just seemed like wasted space, and just kind of tried to mimic that as best I could. But that's pretty much that one. This was, I Googled an image for blacksmith shop and this thing came up, and I thought, well, this is kind of neat. So I built this in the city of Rowan, and as you can see in this next picture, I don't think it really looks like the original, but it kind of works. It's a little boring, so I may end up rebuilding this one, but for now, I don't think it's too terrible. This is stables that I built for that new town of Boren, and so I just kind of Googled medieval stables, and so I found this one. I like the arches, I like the way it worked out, and this is what it became in Minecraft. Now, you can see on this one there's like, what, 6 little horse pens or whatever, but the area that I had to squeeze it into, I needed to get it between these 2 walls on either side. And so I just kind of truncated it down, made it smaller, and then made the actual pens a little bit larger just so I could fit all the blocks in there to make it work out right. But I think that one turned out pretty good. Now this is another huge, just like great source for Minecraft inspiration, and that's just Googling images for video games. Now I think this one is for like strongholds or like castles and conquests or something like that. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but they're like video game renditions of a blacksmith shop or something like that, And so this one I was just like, wow, that's great. And I wanted something in the city of Boren that was like way more involved, way more intricate. So I came up with this, and then the original image was mirrored, but for the purposes I needed, I wanted things to kind of fit in with the rest of the town, so I just mirrored the image when I copied it. And this is what I came up with. So you can kind of see I've got the fire pit thing on the right, and then the main blacksmith shop on the left. And I think it turned out pretty good. I really like this one a lot. And then this is an old mansion that I wanted to do for like the mayor's house in Fourth Wind. This is Carson Mansion in California. So here's like the original. And then this is what I built in Minecraft. I have a video showing actually how to build this too, so if you want to check that out. And this one is a church. I do not remember the name of it. I think I just googled Gothic church and found this thing that shows the cross sections and all that kind of stuff. And I really liked it. I didn't put the, I guess it's the steeple, this tall part in the middle. And then the rounded part in the back where they're calling it the apse or apse. I don't know how to pronounce that. But you know, don't think that you have to follow everything exactly, because you're not going to be able to. There's going to be times where scale-wise it doesn't work, or it would be way too big if it was realistic to scale, you know, so you want to make it smaller for your town to fit in, or you know, you just can't get the shapes that you want. It looks goofy trying to do it. So like in this one, if I want to do that curve at the end, it might have looked kind of silly. So instead, just make it flat, you know, just simplify things. So that's that guy. And this is more or less what it became. So you can see the front is kind of similar, and then it's got the side things, and then I added the like little support wing things down here just because I like that design. I don't know if the original picture even has those because you can't really see it, but I really like the way they looked, so I put them on there. Other than that, there's one more thing I'd like to show you, and then we'll end this video. So this is the new project I'm undertaking that's just huge, and it's Neuschwanstein Castle. I believe I said that correctly. And I found some stuff on there. I did a video on this. I'm not going to go into great detail, but I found a website that has like a Lego version of it. I found a website that has a BMP file where each pixel is one Minecraft block. And then I just found some floor plans. And ultimately what I did was I started with the BMP file because I'm like, hey, this guy's already done all the work. I might as well take advantage of it. But to me, his scale was a little too large, and it didn't quite match up with what I wanted. So I kind of just took the floor plans and then drew over them in AutoCAD, and then figured out the block scale that I wanted from there and just went with it. And if you Google images of this, you'll notice the back half of what you can see in this photo has kind of a bend to it. And that was just going to be too hard for me to duplicate, so I just straightened it out. Again, like I said, you know, feel free to take artistic license and just modify things. So I'll give you like a little quick flyby of that one. So here's this one. You can kind of see the scale of it is just immense, and it's got a decent amount of detail done to it. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. You can see back here I've got maybe just like the ground floor, and this thing is just so big that I'm on far render distance, and you know, granted it's a little bit slow, but you can't physically see the entire castle unless you have like extreme render distance turned on and you just kind of let it sit there for a while. It's just so big. But I've got a lot more to do on it, and I'm not 100% sure that this tower height is accurate, but I think that's pretty close. I counted it up, but I don't know for sure. So as you can see, this thing is just going to be huge. Oh, maybe I can see it all. I don't know, but it's going to be big. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today, was just getting inspiration. So look forward to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.